Hello, my name is Philip Smith, and I'm a solution architect with AWS. In this video, we will show you how to leverage AWS Compute Optimizer to deliver actionable recommendations to optimize SQL Server licensing. AWS Compute Optimizer makes it easier to identify saving opportunities by reviewing current SQL Server features being used and identifying instances where SQL licenses can be downgraded from Enterprise Edition to Standard Edition. You can select your instances in Compute Optimizer and authenticate CloudWatch Applications Insights with SQL Server read-only database credentials. CloudWatch Application Insights will analyze if the workload is using any enterprise-specific features that are not supported in Standard Edition. When there are not any Enterprise Edition specific features being used, Compute Optimizer will recommend downgrading to Standard Edition to save licensing cost. This simple example shows the pricing differences of Enterprise and Standard Editions and how it's a 73% difference. Today we will be reviewing how to opt in with the Compute Optimizer service and how to onboard your SQL servers and consume the licensing recommendation results. The requirements needed to receive licensing recommendations are opting into the Compute Optimizer service, enabling CloudWatch Application Insights with a SQL account, attaching the required instance role with policies to the instance, and noting it will take 30 hours of metric data to receive those recommendations. The policies for the instance role are Amazon SSM Managed Instance Core and CloudWatch Agent Server Managed Policies, along with an inline policy to retrieve the SQL credentials for Application Insights. For SQL access, you'll need a SQL account requiring minimally viewer server state and view any definition. And with those credentials when onboarded with Application Insights, this will enable a new service on the SQL Server, Prometheus SQL Exporter SQL. To get started, from the console, choose Compute Optimizer, and if you haven't enabled it yet, you'll see a screen similar to this, and choose the button to get started. The next page will be the account setup. Review the opt-in preferences and click Opt-in. Once you opt in, a service-linked role will be created automatically in your account. And this can be for your single account or all accounts within your organization if set up. And now we will look at how to onboard your SQL servers and consume the licensing recommendation results. From the console home, I'm going to click on AWS Compute Optimizer. From Compute Optimizer, I'm going to go to the left and click on the widget for licenses. Here we should see all of our instances listed. And for an example of an instance that has not been onboarded, we'll see something in the findings column as insufficient metrics. We'll click on that instance. If you've already onboarded previous SQL servers, you'll be able to drop down and reuse that SQL Server secret. Or if it's your first, you'll be able to create the secret by entering in those SQL Server credentials. Check the box for confirming that the instant role and the policy is attached. And then you'll be able to click the button that says Enable License Recommendations. After 30 hours, you should be able to report and be able to see if your findings are optimized or not optimized. For one that's not optimized, we'll click on here. We'll be able to see the recommendation of the current licensing edition and the recommendation, the estimated monthly savings, as well as the savings opportunity percentage. Compute Optimizer checks for SQL Server for a variety of enterprise features, including instances that require 128 gigabyte of memory for buffer pool or has 48 vCPUs. Commonly used features such as availability groups, resource governor, and asynchronous read replicas, and some less frequently used features such as non-uniform memory access and memory-optimized tempDB metadata. If none of these features or limitations are present, AWS Compute Optimizer recommends downgrading SQL Server additions. And then additionally, we have a button for implementing the recommendations with some documentation on how to downgrade your SQL Server edition. Hope this information was valuable. Thank you.